And I want to thank someone who was with me on hand, answering every question, being the last person to leave. And we had the most amazing thing happen is the second that we got the endorsement
Reinfield
from
needs to talk
Governor
about
Chris
something.
Sununu. Last person to leave. And we had the most amazing thing happen is the second that we got the endorsement from Governor Chris Sununu. We've been campaigning in New Hampshire.
Oh, you know what?
Touching every hand.
Let's talk about something, Reinfield.
Question, being the last person
Like
to
Nikki
leave.
Haley, Reinfield.
You're
Reinfield, you look like Nikki Haley.
Is the second that we got the endorsement from Governor Chris Sununu.
The Republican incumbent, Donald Trump, did rules that doesn't take into account the state-by-state races that we have. You know, we started with 2% in Iowa. We ended up with 20%. We had 14 candidates in the race. A dozen of the fellows are gone. I just got national polls. That doesn't take into account the state-by-state races that we have.
Holy
you know,
ass on Nikki Haley, Reinfield.
We ended up with 20%. We had 14 candidates in the race. A dozen of the fellows are gone. I just got one left. We ended up getting 43% of the vote in New Hampshire. Think about that. The Republican incumbent, Donald Trump, did not get 43% of the vote in New Hampshire. That's a problem. He's not winning any additional people. He's not winning corporate welfare went out during COVID. I would not have given all that corporate welfare. I actually resigned from the board of Boeing because they wanted a government bailout, and Trump supported it. We don't need corporate welfare. That's what went wrong. They had no accountability in that. They put out corporate welfare. That's not how you get a country through a crisis. The way you get a country fraudulently. Over $500 billion in corporate welfare went out during COVID. I would not have given all that corporate welfare. I actually resigned from the board of Boeing because they wanted a government bailout.
You act like Nikki Haley, Reinfield.
We don't need corporate welfare. That's what went wrong. They had no accountability in that. They put out corporate welfare. That's not how you get a country through a crisis. The way you get a country through a crisis is you reduce the size of the federal government. That's why we want to take as many federal programs as we can and move them down to the states. That will reduce the size of the federal government, but it will empower people on the ground. Think healthcare, think welfare, think education, think mental health. If you cut those strings and send it down to the people, that's what really makes things work. When you go into every agency, I'll do what I did as governor, send people into every agency to clean it up, pull down old regs, pull down bureaucracy, get rid of poverty, get rid of programs that don't belong. Government was intended to secure the rights and freedoms of the people. It was never meant to be all things to all people. And now you've got all of this corporate welfare that we're seeing from both Trump and Biden. It's a problem. Look at the CHIPS Act.